The following is a paid program sponsored by Get Elevated. Please be advised that the voices and opinions you hear do not necessarily represent the views of KUNV Las Vegas, the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, or the Board of Regents of the Nevada System of Higher Education.
Please note that while we will cover a multitude of topics, including many alleged health benefits, all information provided should be considered anecdotal and informational. Please consult with your physician before adding cannabis to your medical regimen. Cannabis is for adults 21 years of age and older. Also, paid sponsorships are not to be misconstrued as preferred or favored by the host. In any way, they are merely that, paid sponsorships. Good morning, happy Saturday. Welcome to another episode of Get Elevated with G-Money. I'm in the studio with one of my favorite returning guests. He's kind of a regular here, Mr. Peter Cannabis. What up, Peter?
Feels like home.
I know, right? So, okay, this show is about cannabis, all things truth and clarity in cannabis. And for those of you listening for the first time, the goal is for global access, awareness, and education of this beautiful sacred plant we call Mother Sativa. And for those of you returning, we couldn't do this without you because we've been going. Peter, we've been running here since November. Can you believe it?
Hey,
this radio show has been going on for almost a year.
Hey,
when
a year
am I going to
coming.
get picked up by Hollywood to create like a global broadcast?
You should.
I just created
would give
it.
you the vote.
I just created it.
Boom.
Yeah. I mean, like the female Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Ish. You know what I'm saying?
I think you handled it.
I think we're done. I think it's
already,
created.
already
It's a
been
wrap.
Done. Already been done.
So Peter and I, we just love hanging out. Peter is my yes and. Genius, business-minded, friendly, awesome, handsome. He's yes and he loves cannabis as much as I do. We share that passion.
Oh my gosh, I had to pay her $150 each compliment there.
I know. I am cha-ching, Venmo.
Yeah.
What would you put in the Venmo comments?
I'd say for the love.
For the love.
Yeah.
I'd pay for the love. I'd receive the money for the love.
But the love it begets love.
I know. Well, Peter, as an international man of cannabis, I would like to know, because the last time you and I were together, we covered, a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But what have you been up to? You took on a new role. You were working with some psilocybin opportunity. Can you catch us up? You like that new nickname I just gave you?
It's kind of like an international man of cannabis is his finger on the pulse, right?
That's what I'm asking for, yeah.
And that's really what I try to aspire to provide of service to this industry and to anybody who really wants to learn about it. Traveling to all these different countries around the world and seeing the movers and shakers not only gave me a foundational idea of where the commoditization and use and a progression of different cannabinoids accepted by different cultures and how they'll be delivered.
What's something outside of this country that we might not know?
Well, I would say that a lot of people aren't aware that Israel, for example, I'm sure you are, and you're very aware, but maybe some of your listeners aren't, that Israel has gotten a head start on us for decades.
Yeah.
So they've been doing actual clinical and medical research on the benefits of various cannabinoids. So they actually have normalized paradigm delivery devices by which people are curing their glaucoma and curing.
That makes me so sad.
And we're seeing cancers and all sorts of Alzheimer's.
Okay.
Alzheimer's is a big one for me because
Really?
Can you imagine losing your mind?
So how are they treating Alzheimer's?
So there's various cannabinoids, especially CBG, that's been exploited for its neuroregenerative cognitive properties. Okay. We have a degeneration of certain connective tissues within the brain that have stopped firing. The synapses stop firing. And when they stop firing, we're losing our ability to control, and our brain stops functioning. The CBG, particularly, the exploitation of certain fats and lipids combined with CBG help for your brain to receive more of an insulation. You have
that should be in the daily tincture.
Bing, bing, bing. I'm telling you.
Is that in Jimmy's tincture, CBG?
Yeah, you bet it.
I got to get more. I got to call him now. I need some stat.
Jenny's Rose.
Yeah. Why don't you tell more about Jenny's Rose for people? Because it's all part of our story here.
Well, it should be because, that's really where we all come from. I love the psychoactive effects of THC, Delta 9, right? I'm all about it. But at the same point, there's a lot of medicine. And I think that's what Jenny's Rose is offering to the public. This young man, Jimmy Castillo.
Jimmy's been here. Jimmy Diamonds. He's been here many times on the show.
I gotta tell you, he was an iron worker who is a mad scientist.
Isn't that wild?
My law firm that I worked for literally recognized. We represented 17 of the Fortune 50. The patent and IP work for GlaxoSmithKline, for Pfizer, some for McDonald's, big companies.
Yep.
We recognized the genius in this man and applied for several different patents behind his extraction technology, specifically upon the process of decarboxylating, which controls the temperature preparing the material to be extracted. And in those processes, he discovered ways that increases the metabolic absorption rate into your homeostasis. So it's not just about what you're taking, it's about how much your body is metabolizing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was actually awarded the fastest ever cannabinoid plant patent
Really?
in U.S. history. And so, I think advancements like that, but also, advancements on the consumer side, being able to, now there's an innovations that we're not seeing in California. Like people aren't utilizing D8, the synthetic derived from CBD isolate now that does have a psychoactive effect, but they are utilizing it all over the country where it's not, THC Delta 9 has not been legalized.
Oh, so we're seeing
It's derived from a legalized hemp product, which gives it the certain loophole.
It's a loophole, yeah.
This is something I think is something that poses a great risk to our industry because of the fact that we have manufacturers of it taking a legal product, so anybody can buy CBD isolate.
Right.
It is transferable across state lines.
Right. I got some at Walgreens before I got here.
And depending on what your knowledge base and abilities are through an extraction process and through the conversion process, you are utilizing some pretty harsh chemicals. If you're not doing it right, you don't know what you're doing. You can make product that is harmful. And I think that's what the risk is to our industry right now is that
I get that.
We have a lot of cowboys out there. No pun intended.
As Peter has a cowboy hat. Okay, I do like to know some more things about what other countries are doing with cannabis and how it might differ from what we do here.
Well, I think what countries are doing with cannabis that is innovative now is that they're combining it with other research involved in additions with psilocybin or other medical and medicinal properties of fungi.
Okay.
And I think, if you look into the Caribbean, it's really trying to put themselves on the map. I give a lot of respect to the islands of the Caribbean because they've had a very tough time, especially recently in St. Vincent, where I have a farm in St. Vincent, which just has been obliterated by the recent volcano there. So, but the people are very resilient. They're very hardworking. In Jamaica, for example, several different advancements of their medical program in association with psilocybin therapeutic use has been opened up. A bunch of different companies have started it up, and I think that's a really interesting way to combine the two medicinal factors.
How are they used together?
Well, the preparation is cannabis and then into a psilocybin ceremony.
So, wait, hold up. So they're administered like in a series?
Through traditional, Rastafarian practices.
What would that look like? What would a Rastafarian? What does that really look like?
It's a different type of practice. And if you haven't gone through one,
no, that's why I'm asking, man.
So it's led by a shamanistic practitioner. The Rastafarians have deep-seated cultural background with cannabis. It is at the foundation of their practice, and so it's a holy plant. It's a sacred plant, and in that they utilize their chillum. There you go, and it's a totally different experience. It hits you extremely hard.
Really, and so it's more than a bong.
Oh yeah, and then you're directly into a psilocybin ceremony led by the same shaman.
So you take a hit on the chillum, get blasted.
You get the whole bowl to yourself, and they are conducting the prayer. And,
oh, wow. Is there like the music and stuff?
Yeah, they have musical instruments and stuff. But during the time period, he was just chanting.
Got it. And then you grab some grams of psilocybin?
And there you go.
How much psilocybin?
So my first experience was, I think 2.5, right?
Well, that's interesting, like to blow you wide open.
Almost a 3.
Yeah, so that's not a small dose.
Well, I'm also not, new to the game.
Understood. So but I'm saying like...
I think he dosed it personally for everybody, what he wanted to accomplish.
This makes sense.
At that ceremony.
But by the time you got your psilocybin, you were high.
High as a kite.
And that's, that's a very interesting then to jump right into then, 45 minutes later when psilocybin kicks in, like... That's a ride.
It
that's
brought
a journey
me to a very calm place.
Really? Okay.
It brought me to a place of complete body relaxation where I was in a horizontal
Maybe
position.
that's why they do it, the cannabis. Or why do they do the cannabis first?
It brought me right into the moment of my body.
Ah, okay.
And I was right there.
Okay.
before.
That's so cool.
It opened me up,
Yeah.
let everything go,
Mm-hmm.
and then brought me to a place where I was just centered.
Now for a quick word from our sponsors. From the chief lobbyist of Matos Consulting, Jay is spearheading a new bill for consumption lounges. Jay is passionate about alternative places to consume cannabis, so our city and the Strip can remain family-friendly.
So anyway, that's the research that's going on. That's the ceremony that they do. They give the cannabis, and then is there anything after?
But there's other aspects of therapeutical uses that are taking place on the island.
Yeah.
But that you asked if differentiated applications, and I think that's one that's kind of innovative. But we're also seeing the applications of normalized paradigm devices entering into vastly different markets.
What's a normalized paradigm device?
So people are going to take CBD and try and make everything out of it.
Yeah.
CBD coffees.
Enough
CBD
already.
ice cream. CBD is not that unique that you need to add it to ice cream and you're going to charge $5 extra, right? So we need to be realistic about what it is. And CBD really should be looked at as an ingredient, in my opinion. So I think the smart companies that are advancing right now are adding CBD to things that they know already work for certain purposes. That gives you a multitude of benefits.
Right.
It expands the spectrum by which you're healing or enjoying or uplifting your body.
I like that. Yeah. I feel like I don't even know what's going on outside of this state, to be honest, like unless I show up somewhere. So it's really nice to hear what's happening and how progressive other places are.
Well, I think we are in the United States stuck in the mud. I was just recently in North Carolina.
What part?
Well, at Raleigh-Durham.
Oh, I used to live there.
I'm being.
Oh, that's so interesting, Gia. That's so cool. Where did you live?
That's so cool. Where did you live, Gia?
I just needed to slow you down for a second.
Sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, forget about it. Okay. So you were saying you lived in Raleigh, Durham.
No, I wasn't. I didn't live there.
Oh, you were visiting. That's right.
I was visiting last week, and I'm being nominated as one of the 5 board members of the regulatory board to help them construct their regulations for their new medical cannabis program.
Ooh, congratulations.
And
that's a big deal.
Well, I don't think I'm considering not doing the project at all, actually, because it was such a striking, stuck in the mud nature of the old boy mentality there.
Sure.
That they have already decided by the powers that be that they're going to create a similar system to the oligopoly system that was created in Florida.
Okay.
And if people aren't familiar with the licensing structure for the medical cannabis program in Florida, there was only 22 licenses.
Okay.
And they're full vertical licenses from cultivation all the way through to dispensing.
You sell your own stuff.
There's no B2B. And what this prevents is a trickle-down effect of all the other small businesses that would benefit from competition or from a lot of different opportunities to do B2B business. Transporters, lighting companies, even down to a cement pourer. You can see the benefit through, and we've done these experiments, Colorado, Washington, the experiment's done. So we see what works, and it flows into economies, and creates tax dollars, and then we see what doesn't. And so in North Carolina, right now, they're about to set up the same program, just more restricted, for 10 licensees
for the whole state. I mean, at least they're coming on. They're coming on board, though. No,
they're coming on board, but they're also going to make it very difficult to qualify to receive cannabis.
So it's like
it's not, chronic pain.
Yeah.
If you include chronic pain, people are able to access the medicine. And
it's not on there. Chronic pain.
No.
Do you know what the indications are?
There's 15 indications, but they're also very severe.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Near terminal diseases.
Wow.
So the percentage of the population is minuscule. And what it's going to do is going to create a failed program, in my opinion.
How's the traveling right now for you?
Oh, it's really picking up. I mean, there's I've been traveling this entire year.
Yeah, and how is that with the COVID and the masks and the?
It is what it is. You got to play the game. You got to get places to be places.
No, I get it. Do you feel unsafe or you feel fine?
In my opinion, if COVID is what takes me out, then I was born to be taken out by COVID. I believe that.
So over that,
the death rate of this is 0.1% of our population. We're treating it as if it's like the.
It just sucks when there's someone that you know.
Listen, I've had friends that died from COVID.
Yeah.
But people die.
Correct. People die.
People get hit by buses.
Yeah.
People have heart attacks.
Yeah, they do.
You know, how many people die more per day for a heart attack than they do
you know what?
from COVID?
I used to sell pharmacogenetic testing where we could take, a swab from your mouth and determine what medications work best for you. And I remember learning that I think the fourth leading cause of death was adverse reactions from pharmaceuticals.
Ouch.
Right? If you take the wrong one, you combine them wrong, you take it longer than you should. And that actually ties perfectly into cannabis because you wonder if we had real skilled physicians, which, like other countries do, then it could be like, imagine adding that component around genetic testing for cannabis. That's happening now, right?
You know, if you look at the development of Eastern medicine versus Western medicine, the Rockefellerian type of developed synthetic petroleum-based applications that we are offered versus the 85 different types of fungi that the East goes to for their sicknesses.
I was watching this documentary on Netflix, I think, and I just learned about mycelium.
I'm in love with mycelium.
I want to grow it. I want to know it.
Known as Mr. Mycelium.
Tell the listeners about mycelium.
Well, if you walk into the forest and you're in that forest and the trees are up there, the sun's peeking through them, and you hear the birds chirping, and your feet are on that brown ground, right?
Yeah.
What you don't realize is that 30% of what you're stepping on is actually mycelium. And mycelium is the connective tissue of the forest. It allows for different plants to share information.
Nutrients, information.
Water.
Yeah.
Love. So what we're recognizing is that forest has been alive the whole time. So when we are deforesting or burning, we're destroying the connective tissue of the earth.
Yeah.
We're all in this together.
Yeah. It's like the neuroplasticity of the brain, but it's in Mother Earth.
Exactly.
I just learned about this, Peter. My mind I ordered all his books.
Think about how mycelium, if you were to look at it and put a dye on it or something like that and look at it vertically through, you would see the patterns of mycelium are exactly like
the patterns in the brain.
Of the brain.
Right.
Ba, 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 ba.
This is like the wildest thing ever. We should call this show all about mycelium.
Yes.
Because so when I think about mushrooms, this is, why are they called magic mushrooms? Why do they have psychedelic properties? Because they're growing from everything that has been through time and everything. Ancestors, spirits from they're right. So when you ingest a mushroom, not all, but the golden shambhala or something, you're essentially connecting with the spirit of everything. Mind blown.
Yeah, you're bringing the history of our planet.
Of our entire planet into you're ingesting it into your consciousness.
That's why we have such deep connections with ourselves when we take this medicine.
I didn't know all of that. I just know that they grew like in, cow dung piles and then, but that's what they said, like, that's how they knew to make the pyramids and stuff like that. How would you consciously do that? Hey man, what's up, Fred? You know what I think would be good right there? A pyramid. Bro, what's a pyramid?
Well, there's
you know what I'm saying? Nobody would be able to just have those conversations. Somebody had to see it first. And there were, I'm blown.
There's, even theories that we have evolved from monkeys by these, these chimpanzees that started eating mushrooms.
Yeah.
That was the beginning of our evolution.
Is that really what they were eating mushrooms?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm just fascinated by the whole fungi world.
We should be.
Yeah.
We should be. We should be open to it. The use of medicinal mushrooms is a $46.1 billion global market.
And Peter, when that blows up, cannabis will go right with it, right? As an integrative.
People in the United States we are a immediate gratification society.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry to tell you, we want it now. We want it fast. We want it hard. America. But you have to understand that a lot of the time to build power, which we, I think, as a society lack internally, is to say no to your short-term desire and yes to your long-term passion. And sometimes that takes a step to take something that does not give you an immediate homeostasis change or a psychoactive effect, but it's good for your long-term longevity.
So you're only be able to join us one time because you have to travel. So I want to ask this question.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. we're just chatting.
So fun to be here.
I am moving into season 3 where I'm talking more about consciousness and cannabis.
Ooh, I like that.
So I really want to bring in more of the sacred medicines into the show because Get Elevated, I think that expansion is what heals us. That's just my story. And so I want to bring more of that onto the show. So what are some of the other sacred medicines that you feel are also integrated with cannabis?
The sacred medicines that I've integrated with cannabis is cannabis has been a practice afterwards.
Yeah, right. Unless you're a Rasta.
Unless you're a Rasta, which is the only practice that I've really involved cannabis with another medicine. Mm-hmm. Whenever I practice sacred medicines, whether it be ayahuasca, combo, Bufo, San Pedro.
Bufo, can you tell me about Bufo real quick? What's been your experience there?
So Bufo is the big boy.
Yeah, that's my birthday present to myself, Peter.
Oh.
So.
Happy birthday. I got to tell you, that is a life changer. I mean, all of them really have the similar effects. But in certain, for an ayahuasca, you can control a little bit of where your conscience goes.
Yeah, you totally can. You can say no, you can.
In time, and go slow or go fast. In Bufo, you're gone.
Yeah.
You have if the ceremony's done right, you should be leaving your conscious state in your body and be in other portal dimensions that are around you because it opens up the pineal gland to the point where your spirit leaves and you are free. And in that, you become aware of the eternal. And the eternal has no time.
Right.
Support for Get Elevated with Gia is provided by Cureleaf. With 2 locations in Las Vegas and 1 in Ely, Nevada, Cureleaf specializes in cannabis products ranging from edibles to flower. More information is available at Cureleaf.com. Cureleaf, Nevada. Cannabis with confidence. Keep out of reach of children. For use by adults 21 years of age and older.
So what would you say for a first-timer?
Oh, I would say lean in. The first time I did it, I was on a Ute Indian burial ground in Catapauxie, Colorado, with the Stanley brothers of Charlie's Web.
Okay.
And my ego came up. And so the only advice I can give you is my reference. But my ego came up. And I was like, hey, man, don't worry. You're tripping. You're going to be fine. I'll take care of you. And then the shaman started his prayer, his chant. And he took an eagle feather with a crystal on the end. Yeah. And he wiped it across my face. And my ego went into a fire that had been burning for 4 days.
Wow.
And I just was gone. So what I would say to you is go fully in, like dive in, release your need to understand what's happening.
Okay. That's fair. I'm excited.
I'm excited for you.
Yeah.
It makes me giddy because when
I
somebody
see
goes
this. You're like a schoolgirl.
When somebody goes into the 5-MeO DMT, the Bufo clan, they're changed forever. It was these ceremonies have given me personally the free of any worry in my life. I worry about nothing. I don't worry about walking outside.
Do you have to do so many to get that feeling, or can you just do it once and have that life changing?
That came around near my 20th ceremony. I did it with a very, very special shaman, and he's in practice and coordination with my ayahuasca shaman.
That's the one you're going to introduce me to.
Yeah. And together they administered a certain dosage of 15 milligrams, which welcomed me in, and 75 milligrams, which was
oh my gosh,
whoa, and then another 50 milligrams.
In the same ceremony,
one after another. I hit the 15. Calm
I
down.
Get goosebumps over here.
Then I hit
all over.
75 took me 45 minutes to stop, to come back, and then 50 again. So it was about 3 hours of doing it.
And that's not normal from what I've read?
It's advanced ceremony.
Oh, got it.
But it's
you're so fancy.
It was the best thing that
you do
ever
fancy
happened to me.
Bufo. Fancy Bufo.
I screamed for 45 minutes the word yes.
Oh wow.
Yes, because I received.
But do you remember what's going on when you're gone?
100%.
Oh.
I can remember it right now as clear as day.
I thought people forget it and they come back like, hey man, that was cool.
Nope.
Wow.
I mean, not for me.
Happy birthday to me. So that's what I'm doing for one of my birthday celebrations. My birthday's Monday.
Way to go.
And
what a birthday present.
I know. That's one of them. And combo prior to that, potentially.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. I just did combo a month ago. I don't know if I want to do it again.
Well, you could do it monthly if you want, but you're clean right now.
Yeah. And it's like, combo's not something you're like, yeah, sign me up.
I like to do combo like before a ceremony, if I'm going to go into it with, and I've had, I've been traveling a lot of.
Right. I mean, I just did Aya and I did combo.
I would say you are already wide open.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Because I don't feel called to it. Like when I need combo, like I'm like, oh, okay, Jimmy, I dial him up. I don't feel like I need it.
Yeah, I think you're good.
Yeah, thank you.
You look like your spirit is, your wings are fully spread.
They are.
Yeah, you're catching the wind right now.
Thank you. What are you doing for your birthday?
I am on a personal mission to buy my mother a home. Oh. So for my birthday, the best thing I could ever want is just to continue to save money. Because I tell you, I moved her out next door to me in California in 2020, January, thank God, right before COVID.
I remember that.
And this year, my pledge was I'm going to buy her a house. And so
I love that.
I'm just right now, I'm just hunkering down.
All about mom.
I don't know. I'm not a big birthday personal celebration guy.
Are you going to be here in Vegas or are you going home?
I'm going home, yeah.
Okay.
I'll be in Newport Beach.
Nice. Well,
maybe I'll go surfing.
So low key, I guess I'm not surprised because every day feels like a birthday. Knowing you feel blessed and birthed every day.
I really do consider myself one of the luckiest.
Like I'm celebrating for the month just because it's like cool, but like I celebrate my life all the time.
Yeah. I live such a free lifestyle. I used to be a financial advisor.
I know. Ew.
In Florida, putting on a 3-piece suit every day.
Yeah.
I live such a free lifestyle.
You did the vest too, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. I mean, if you're going to do it.
Yeah, well, I own my own firm. So.
Oh, fair enough.
But, I'm now just so free.
I love that for you, Peter. I feel freedom as well. You know what I feel right now after that Aya ceremony? I feel in my knowing.
Yes. You were talking about, tell me more about that.
Gnosis.
What is your knowing, Gia?
I just have this, I'm making some changes in my life and people are asking me if I'm excited or this. It's like, no, I'm just in my knowing. Because excitement comes with an attachment.
To a consequence.
To an outcome.
Result. Yeah.
And I'm almost flat, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm just like in a knowing.
Yeah.
And
that's a good confidence.
Gnosis, I'm just flowing. So when you tap into your knowing, and that was part of my intention with the ceremony. And did you get the picture I sent you last night before your phone? Did you see that? So I was just doodling last night, and then it was like grandmother came back. That's the medicine for those of you listening. Grandmother, and I started just getting out my colored pencils, and I had no plan. I'm an artist, right? So normally I have a plan, a thought, and it just felt like it was reiterating what you said. That was a special scraping going on in my brain. And what's left is this center of just knowing. I can't even think about the future. There's no need to. We only think about it because we're fearing and navigating it. And so I just feel very centered and very calm. And then you start to reach for those thoughts that those egoic thoughts that kind of mess you up. And you're like, hey, they're not there. So, and that was just Friday, so I'm still integrating big time, but thank you for...
See, I think you just connected to what I was speaking about earlier about the 5-MeO DMT ceremony, is that knowing relieves you of any worry.
Yeah.
Or
it's almost like there's a block in my brain that won't let me think forward. I can't, it's like I'm trying to go, what? And it's like, nope, it just cuts me off.
Yeah.
Because what's the point of knowing the future when the knowing is now? That is the
now.
Yeah, that is the now. Yeah, that's awesome. Man, I could talk about that. I'm going to reconnect with you after my
experience.
My
gosh. I can't wait for season 3 for the consciousness.
Season 3, the consciousness and cannabis. Well, I think that's probably a wrap then.
Oh, thank you so much. I just want to say thank you. Yeah. Well, I love the show. And I got to tell you.
Tell me why.
It's an open forum.
Yes, it is.
It gives people a chance to be themselves, to talk about this beautiful place. We haven't had these resources available for people to educate, learn, get passionate about it. If you guys want to learn more about it, you can find me at Peter_Cannabis on Instagram. I'm happy to help.
Find me at... are you done, Peter? I'm going to cut you off.
I'm so done now.
You can find me at gia.kubik. I never even say that. I put it in the notes. Any final words for people in cannabis and anything about your journey?
Hey, if you are a cannabis or plant medicine user, think about utilizing and integrating other plant solutions that are replacing plastics, rubbers, cottons, or others, polyesters, synthetics, anything made from petroleum. Let's get active about utilizing industrial hemp solutions.
Amen. Ouch. Ouch. Whoa, he ended with a big, rocky fist in the air. I love it. Peter Cannabis, thank you. We promised to come back in a few months.
Anytime I'm invited.
We'll do it again. I appreciate it. For those of you listening, thank you so much for your sincere, loving support and your energy and your blessings and your love. And I, as always, like to say, welcome to the future of cannabis. My name is Gia. I'll be your tour guide.
You have been listening to a paid program sponsored by Get Elevated. Please be advised that the voices and opinions you heard do not necessarily represent the views of KUNV Las Vegas, the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, or the Board of Regents of the Nevada System of Higher Education.